Hi everyone, today's video we're going to do this piece of meat here. Now it's beef and it's called shin, and it's a nice cheaper cut of meat, but the thing with it is it does need a nice long slow cooking time. So to that end we're going to do it in the old slow cooker here. So we've got all our stuff ready and I'm going to hand you over to Jan who's going to take you through it.
Right, I kind of stumbled across this by reading the Waitrose magazine, the weekend magazine, about cheaper cuts of meat, and I thought, something else for the slow cooker, I'm going to give it a go. So as I say, it was in the Waitrose weekend, and it's all about ways to eat well for less, and there's this article here within it about now nose to tail eating, and they're talking about forgotten cuts of meat like shin, but they're saying the key to cooking cheaper cuts is low and slow. And I thought, ching moment. That's where the slow cooker comes back in again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the pan, and I'm going to put some onions in there and soften them off. So I put my oil in, I'm going to soften them off. Now I've got here ready, I've got some carrots ready to go in, some leeks, butternut squash. I've got all of my herbs to go in. I've got some celery, garlic and onions, and of course my shin beef. Now you could just pop them all in there and go for it, but I do prefer to soften the onion, brown the meat off, because it just keeps the flavour in. So I'm going to, as I say, pop this in here and I'm going to soften these off, and I'm going to put the celery in as well, and I'm going to put the garlic in. So they're just going to soften off very, very slowly there in the wok. A frying pan will do, a saucepan will do, so that's what I'm going to do there. Right, this is going nice and soft now, so I'm going to add my shin beef here. I'm rather pleased with that, £2.78, so that's pretty good. And I'm going to just drop these in to brown them off. So this is browned off now and sealed in the flavour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them out of there and I'm going to pop those into the slow cooker. Ready. And I'm going to put a little bit of oregano on them, because beef and oregano just so go together. Kind of just inside the cracks there, inside the meat. Okay, now over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my seasoning. So I'm going to put some basil, and some sage, some thyme, and some black pepper. I'm going to mix this up. Right, add your soy sauce, mix it round, and I've got this beef to taste, which is really, really nice. Mixing this all up. So these are all your seasoning. You can add whatever seasoning it is that you want. Just let that sit there for a few minutes and then we'll get on to the next part. What I'm going to do now is tip all of this into here. Ready. That's ready to go. That's the leeks. Root vegetables are the trick when you're using the slow cooker, because they cook really nicely in there. I'm going to add a beef stock cube. Another stock cube, mixing this in. I'm going to add some sherry vinegar, and a little bit of puree. Mix all this up, and then I'm going to add some flour to thicken it up before I add the water. So I'm going to add the flour. I'm going to thicken this up. I'm going to make a bit of a gooey mess for now. And then I'm going to add my boiling water. And then add that to the slow cooker. So I've added some boiling water to that, and that's making that stock cube melt. It's looking nice. And now I'm going to add, because I don't want to put it into the slow cooker too hot, and the reason for that is I'm going to leave mine to marinate in the fridge overnight, because I want this for tomorrow's meal. If of course you wanted to put it straight on, then you can put all your boiling water in, and be careful when you add it to your slow cooker, because you're adding boiling water straight to it. But then at least it's heated up and you can just switch it on. But as I say, because I want to put mine in the fridge, I want to cool it down quite quickly. So that's ready now, just to add to the slow cooker. Mix in nicely, and then I'm going to add some more water there. Pop that in there. That cleans out my wok so I don't leave any of those lovely sauces behind. And that's looking good. So I'm now going to pop that in the fridge to marinate overnight. If you don't need to do that, as I've said, you can just put it straight on to cook, and then we'll see how it looks when we cooked it. I'm going out tomorrow, so it's going to cook all day, which is the idea of the slow cooker, to have a meal to come home to. There's nothing like coming home from a day out and the meal's all cooked and ready for you. So probably took me about 20 minutes to prepare, but oh, it's going to be lovely to come home to tonight, having that smell coming as I walk in the house. Right, so been out all day, this has been cooking, came in, smell blew me away, it's awesome. It's been on all day, on automatic, look at that, pull this up, use the skewer, look at that, falling off, absolutely perfect. Look at these carrots, beautiful, butternut squash, absolutely perfect. So what I want to do now, I just want to thicken that up a little bit while I wait for the potatoes, the mashed potatoes to boil. So I've made a little bit of corn flour, not too much cold water because I don't want to make it too cold. I'm just going to gently stir it in, taking care that it doesn't cause lumps, which is why I'm using corn flour. And already that's beginning to thicken up. So now that's got to heat through in the last 10 minutes while I wait for the potatoes to be ready to mash. So we've served this up onto the plate. Now I want to thicken this up because I want it to be gravy to go over. So I've put corn flour in, but it still doesn't want thick enough, and I don't want to wait any longer for it to heat through. So just sprinkling some granules, some gravy granules in, and you can see that's thickening up and going a nice colour. If you just sprinkle it in a little bit, it shouldn't go lumpy. So now we just need to add our mashed potato to the plate and put that gravy on. So what I'm doing now is I'm just scooping off some gravy just to pour over the food, and that's all cooked ready. We need to try it in a minute. Hopefully it tastes as lovely as it looks. This here I'm probably going to need now. I probably won't want to eat that again tomorrow, so I'm going to put that in the blender and make some beef soup out of that. So just needs to see what it tastes like.
Well, here we are. It's very nice. There's a bit of shin beef. Let's have a go. And it is nice. $2.85. That's a pretty good price. And we've got loads here. Now we've done a bit of mash with ours, as you can see. So it's a really cheap meal. And we've got loads left over in there, which we're probably going to blend down for soup, which will make loads. So you get a really good deal for the money. So what do I say? Really highly recommended. So that's it from us. You know where to go for all our cooking videos. Derrickton33.co.uk. There's loads on there, especially all mainly with the halogen oven. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you next time.